yeah, hopefully this is a... Is this switch? It's fountain, okay. Yeah, I was going to see if there was like a bigger stage, just because we can talk more about that, like consistency with setting up the lasers and stuff. But it is also important to talk about on the smaller stages as well. Yeah, I think this one's a fountain game that I just clicked on.
Maybe I sent you the wrong one.
You said I haven't looked at what the other one is. Yeah.
Okay, that should be fine then.
But yeah, so unlike the smaller stages, yeah, a lot of the time when you're in that like neutral or like you're at a disadvantage, you won't be able to get a laser out. So then when the opportunity does come up, you should probably be taking it a lot more than on the other stages, just because it's like so valuable to have a laser out on a small stage.
Yeah.
Can you see this now, by the way?
Yeah. I'm watching.
Alright, cool. So I think the upsell was fine. And then I thought this was kind of a bad laser to go for.
Yeah. I don't know. Because I understand the full process.
Yeah, so like I think you decided to do the laser without seeing where he was during the subtitle. Again, because you're like whiffing something, you should just be seeing and reacting to where he is.
In my defense, he blends in with the stick. Now I'm joking.
But yeah, so like if you're up tilting and he's right above you like this, like you have the space to do like a full retreating laser, but you don't have space to do like a dash back like half one, if that makes sense. Because like he can just run off here and hit you or shield drop and then hit you. So again, going back to what we were saying, think about like vertically as well. Like, can he come down and hit me for this laser? And if he can, then you probably want to do other stuff like up tilting or moving out of the way or back airing or going up and shining him, options like that instead. Or you want to shoot a safer laser that doesn't have as high a reward. Because like this laser, in a normal situation, it usually gets you like a grab or like a jump shine or something like that,
Yeah.
But yeah, in this, like, this could have been a drill and then hit you, for example. And then during the laser as well, if you do this knowing there's a platform above you, then like jump shining them coming down should be like top of your priorities, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So like as soon as I see like that kind of similar type of position, I should just be like looking to sharp or.
Yeah. So as soon as you see as soon as you input the laser, you should see where he is. So I'd see him above me here, and I'd be like, jump shine's my priority here, and then like you sort of think about your mix-ups based on that. So the level one would be me going up and jump shining, and then his counterplay might be like holding shield after he lands in case I'm late. So then I might start doing like wave land and then shine, or wave land and then grab, or up air underneath platform, or something like that. And I'd just like build it from there. But you should always be looking like where they are when you press B, basically.
Yeah, because I think I can recognize from like the position he was in that like he either comes down like on top of me or he like resets and goes away.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of like weird things happening, I feel like. But like that should happen like occasionally versus Fox, but I think it's happened like 3 stocks or 4 stocks or something. So when it gets to that point, I feel like there's some sort of either you're too unfamiliar or your execution's not good enough, or you're just like taking really bad risks.
Yeah,
would be the 3 I'd say. So for example, like you burn your double jump in the corner here trying to shine. So maybe what would be a better option instead is to try and like CC your way through this. Because then even if you get hit, you're sliding on the floor instead, you're probably going to get to ledge instead of trying to jump and shine. Because then if it doesn't hit, then you're kind of screwed. Or like you could play this safer by like, maybe buffering a roll in either direction. Then if you get hit, it's not as bad as losing your stock here, right?
Yeah. It's just like after I mess up the first part of the situation, like I just need to recognize like I'm in a bad situation, like just gotta do safe things only.
Yeah, I mean you can take the risk occasionally. It's just like if this is happening a lot, then I think your risk reward is like skewed in the wrong way.
Yeah.
And also, especially going back to the punish game thing, if you're taking those risks and then you're also not able to like do a load of damage off of those risks, then like it's just a terrible idea, right?
Yeah.
So you're not Westballs, so you can't really like play for that. And then if it works, you beat all these people. So it's an idea to take it a bit, more careful. Yeah, so I think this laser would have been fine on any other stage, for example. Like, you whiffed over here, but he was so far away that this would hit him if he tried to move in. So I think this laser was great. It was just the platform was getting in the way. Nice, I think this was a lot better. Like, instead of trying to laser under him, you like throw out the back air and then that catches him moving off the platform.
Yeah.
Like, the wave dash was just some like unfortunate stuff happened to him. One bit of cheese I like to do here is to crouch. I'm not sure if it would work here, but you can definitely like crouch under Peach down smashing, for example.
Oh,
and
really?
Then, yeah, like when a lot of the platform heights you can, and then just like jump up and shine them. Same with like a lot of other moves, but this could have been a shield drop down here.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard, but again, like if you hit that instead of this short hop down air, then it becomes a much better situation for you.
Do you think that'd be like a situation where like he's likely to miss the tech?
Yeah, I think so.
With tech, right?
Unless he was holding arms attack during his up smash lag. But yeah. So here, were you trying to read a full hop? Do you think? With this short hop back here.
Yeah, just like just movement out the corner basically. Like,
okay.
I think I just wait for like a second, and then I think they're most likely not going to sit there for
that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
usually you try and move, whether it be a wave dash or that.
So going back to what we were saying before, with like covering multiple things with like options and like choosing more effective moves. So for example here, like AC drift in back air like only really covers if he jumps, right? At this one exact timing that you're doing.
Yeah.
If he stays in shield, he gets to grab you. If he rolls in, then you lose pressure, etc., etc. So probably a more efficient way to cover full hop would be to dash dance like around this spacing. Yeah. Then if he full hops, you can laser him, you can back air him, you can run up and grab him, you can whiff punch with an aerial, and then that also covers if he rolls in because you get to hit him. If he tries to stay in shield, his shield's shrinking, you're not committing anything. So do you see how it like covers way more options and has a similar reward as well?
Yeah, it's like just having like the really nice spacing on their shield, but like it's even better because he's in the corner.
Yeah,
I guess I didn't really like recognize it as that situation. I think I probably make a separate situation in my head where it's like they're in the corner and like if I like hit them, then I'm gonna net a lot when I can just like probably react.
Yeah, you can react and then like the big hit will come eventually.
Yeah.
The feeling I get with this is like specific reads like this should be to like get you out of really bad situations. I feel like. Like if you're in the corner versus Fox, for example, you do need to make the like big read to tip the situation in your favor. Whereas when you're the one with center, like you're the one that doesn't have to take the big risk and can like play it quite safe. And a lot of the things you do cover a lot of their options.
Yeah, so if I just did the dash dance thing, it's like a much higher percentage and like way safer.
Yeah, so like. These sorts of like really specific reads you're going for, I think they should be reserved for like situations like when you're if you're recovering, for example, you might bet it all on one like super weird recovery that hard reads them or something like that where like you've not got much else choice other than to go for something that risky. Whereas in these spots, you definitely don't have to go for something as risky as like AC bearing into his shield, right? You have a lot of like safer alternatives that get similar reward, but yeah, that was just my thoughts on that. And you see how it like turned into a bad situation for you as well because you were wrong.
I could have easily just died, but
yeah.
Anyway. Was that bad, DI? Should I have died there?
I think he could have lived if he died
Oh,
perfectly. I think recovering into the center here was pretty bad. I would have probably shortened instead. Or just fell to ledge, to be honest. You didn't even need to side B.
Mm-hmm.
In general, just falling to ledge is really good, as long as you have decent ledge options.
I think that's a habit I need to kick a lot, because I think that was showing up in like the math stuff as well, where like I'd be like basically safe from, even if it wasn't even like a ledge situation, like from a hit, and then like I'd jump back in, like committing myself to getting hit again when I was pretty much fine. But just like carried on drifting.
I mean, if you look at where Fox is here, right, like he's just of no threat to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think two of the big things people do wrong when they're in a defensive position is like they either recover in a bad way when they don't need to. So, for example, this side B, or they like try to jump out or fight their way out when they don't need to either.
Mm-hmm.
And it just ends up being like they take this huge risk and then it doesn't pay off, and then they like die unnecessarily. And especially as Falco, that like can feel really bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think just like pay more attention to like the situations you're in, and like have a bit more like nuanced answers. For example,
there was. I'm not sure if like this directly really pertains to this, but it just kind of remind me of like there was like a one session I was having, I think with Brandon, where like I was just playing super. I don't like in my head I was just playing like super simple, and like I was thinking like it kind of seemed to afford me more time to like think about situations like better.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like I think like in normal circumstances and in this one as well, like I'm probably just thinking like in more of like a panicked way, just like, oh, I need to get out of this combo, you know, instead of actually like recognizing the situation and trying to find the best option.
Yeah, I think one of the main problems people run into in Melee or in a lot of games and stuff, honestly, is they just sort of like overgeneralize what they're doing and what their plan is, and then when it doesn't work, they're not like figuring out the specific answers why. They're just kind of like, oh, this thing I thought works doesn't work, or like, you know, they're just not looking into it deep enough. I don't know if it's like laziness or people are ignorant to it or what, but it just feels like if people were a lot more specific, and it is hard to be specific a lot of the time, then I think they'd find a lot more success. So for example, like I was saying with that big read with the bell, like that might be an appropriate read to go for if it was a different situation. Like hard reading a full. So for example, like hard reading a full hop. If Fox is at 0 and you're at 120, then it might be worth, you know, hard reading his full hop with a full hop shine, because that, you know, is a big combo, and you know you're gonna die if you lose any mix up. Whereas when you're in the center at low percent and he's at high percent in the corner and you have him in shield, like even me sounding that out should sound to you like a good situation that I don't need to take a big risk in, you know. So yeah, I would just think more about like just being more specific with what you're trying to do and like what the different situations are. It's the same with that with the laser thing we were talking about. Like people generalize laser as like you can do it any time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When sometimes it's like just not a mix, you know, like they can't do anything about it. So yeah. It looks like you got really stuck there.
I think I was just trying to out a shield, but then I just didn't get there. Well, I was trying to do it too perfect, I guess.
Yeah, so like, I mean, I can just tell you where the holes were in this. So like, as soon as he did this shine up here and he double jumped out of it, that should have been a cue for you to try and escape first of all, because once he's in that shine, he has to jump, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he could have wave landed down to the platform, which would have been really weird. But yeah, so if I see something like this, my general go-to is to roll into center, because he would have to preemptively like do the double jump and then drift back into center, and then like back air to try and hit me, which is like pretty, you know, if you do anything other than roll, then you're out for free, right?
Yeah.
says that you can also sometimes like go up and hit him if you see this, but that's a bit riskier. And then so that was the first hole. Anytime somebody double jumps, then that's usually a cue to try and like move or do something out of shield. And then the second one was this drill. So like a lot of the time you can get shine out of shield on this. But again, buffering roll is also really good. Do you know about how drill is on shield, like roughly?
I mean, I could guess, but I don't. I no. I'll just say no because
Okay, yeah. So
I'm not sure for certain, so there's no point.
How it is on shield depends on staling and like how the drill hit. But the short of it is, it only beats shine out of shield about a third of the time. Depending on staling and how the drill hits, obviously. So that means it's either -6, -7, or -8, and all of those are too slow to cover roll, right? Because roll's 4 frames.
Okay.
So rolling out of a situation like this is really good if you're timing the roll like on the last drill hit. You can't just hold the buff because there's a chance you get hit like by the drill hits, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's good if you don't want to try and like place your bets on it, because it also relies on you like executing shine of shield well. You can also just like wait for the shine to hit your shield and then play from there. So what does he do out of this? He does another like weird. The same. Does he drill twice? He does double shine full double jump drill. But yeah, so like my go-to versus Fox is like I wait for him to do something like this. So like a double jump, or say they do a rising aerial. Anything that gives me like a cue that I can move and do something is like my level 1 versus Foxes. And then it gets a bit trickier when they start to do stuff that it forces me to act. For example, shine and then late aerial. Because by the time I see that they've jumped and they haven't done the aerial, I can't move out of the way, right?
Can't react.
Yeah, or shine grab as well. That's another one where like if I don't buffer roll or spot dodge between shine and grab, then I'm getting hit. And that's all shield pressure boils down to a lot of the time, is like forcing your opponent to make defensive reads, and then sort of using your other pressure options to sort of like cover those.
Yeah, counter it.
Yeah, I mean Mango's probably the best example of doing that. But that's why you see a lot of the time top players, when they're in shield in like the corner or whatever, they don't seem to get hit, because a lot of the time their opponent just gives up the situation for them by like doing shine retreating aerial, and then they just stay in shield, see that they ran away, and then go back to neutral. Or they do something like this double jump, and to me this would be like, oh, I'll just roll in and then I'm back to neutral again. So yeah, that go on.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I think I do fall into a trap of like trying to always contest things with shine out of shield.
Yeah.
When I don't really need to, or
yeah, that's definitely quite a common habit I see. And shine out of shield is really good, but I think it should be reserved for like either you've reacted to something that is punishable. So, for example, a high nair on your shield, or like so say like a high aerial on your shield, or it's something where you're like making a really specific read. So for example, if I know Fox is going to do shine late aerial pressure, I might shine out of shield after I see his shine, because I know he's like just waiting in front of my shield with nothing out. That would be like the only 2 times I'm shining, is when it's a reactable like punish, or I'm making a really specific read on how he's going to shield pressure me. Outside of that, I'm looking for like moving out of the situation with roll, or wave dashing away, or maybe full hopping away as well. But yeah, a lot of the time you'll find, as long as you don't get intimidated by all the buttons Fox is pressing here, and understanding like where the holes are, then a lot of the time it's actually pretty easy to escape people's shield pressure.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a part of the game that people don't really. Again, they overgeneralize and they think shield pressure is just like pressing a load of buttons on people's shield, instead of like breaking it down into the what are the rock paper scissors here. But yeah, just to summarize, basically the holes here were when the drill hit your shield and when he double jumped.
Yeah.
They're both two reactable things where you could have rolled or gotten out of the way. Yeah, this is another one he didn't really know what to do because it was a bit weird that it sent him off stage as well.
Yeah.
I think what you did was fine. It just only covered like one specific thing again. I would have probably stood on stage and tried to set up a downer. So yeah, I'd like do this. See, you got hit the other way, and then maybe like dash dance or shield stop or something to set up a good down air spacing, and then just try to down air his angle. I think the laser might have been unsafe if he moved forward, but the idea to laser was fine. He just executed it a bit badly, and because the laser itself didn't come out as well.
I waited as well. I think I didn't do it fast.
Yeah, because this didn't come out. This went badly, but like this would have just been like a laser here, and then it would have been a really good situation for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for that specific spacing, is there like, I would reckon with the best options if I did hit the laser. I'm not sure if it's.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a pretty common one. So he would be. Let me pause it on the exact like.
Because I was high percent, he was low percent, and then like.
Yeah.
It was not right next to it.
I think he would have got shot around here. So this spacing, you can pretty safely go for like approaching aerials.
Okay.
Like even if he dashes back, he's probably going to get hit, especially if you do like a no fast fall aerial. If you think he'll, so again, it is just about thinking how Fox will respond to the laser. His main.
So I was just worried about the percentage when I looked at it.
Yeah, I mean, you probably want to be more scared of like take laser up smash, for example, or yeah, that's probably the main one. So what it might be good to do is something like laser and then dash dance, and then go in at a timing that would catch take laser up smash, for example.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you can do like laser aerial, and it's so fast that like he doesn't have time to get out his up smash. But I think he would have at this spacing. So yeah, if you want to play it safe, I would go for that, like laser dash dance. See if he whiffs the up smash, and if he doesn't, then do something else. But if you want to kind of YOLO it and take the big risk, then I would just do like an approach here of some sort. Laser approaching aerial, like high or low aerial, laser approaching laser, maybe even laser dash jump shine. Yeah. But yeah, if this guy's an up smasher, then I would definitely just do laser dash dance, see if he whiffs, and then hit him. It's pretty unfortunate that the shine whiffed. One thing you can do to make this a bit easier is you can delay the shine. So you see how Fox like
recoils?
Yeah, exactly. Like if you delayed it by like 2 or 3 frames here, it might have hit.
I feel like it happens with standing Martha, right?
Happens with a lot of characters. Peach as well is a big one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can just remove the ambiguity by going for dare grab instead. Or if you're really sick, you can do like dash jump shine. But yeah. Yeah, so this is a pretty important punish game thing. So if you'd got a cleaner here again, then this would have been much better. So like off of up tilt, it did trade, which is a bit weird. But like this, you probably want to do dash back and then jump shine off of. Can you see like where the combo would lead from there?
We'd land to the top platform, and then like if he's DIing out, like he can't DI in really because it was just free combo, and then if he DIs out, I can maybe follow like a laser or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say the best way to go about
on the top platform.
I'd say for this one, it would be probably better to wave on the ground and then go from there. Just because if he does DI away, then and you go to the top platform, you won't be able to hit him with like a move. You'd only get like a laser. Whereas if you waveland down and then he DIs up to the platform, you can still get up there with like a full hop, aerial or shine, right?
For this like situation, I'm just not quite sure about executing that. Like if I jump shine, like if I dash dance jump shine, like if I waveland straight down, is that not going to be like a lot of time before I get to the ground?
It is, but you can do it so that you're hitting with the top of the shine, if that makes sense. So then there's less time between you and the ground. And also shine has a lot of hit stun.
Yeah, yeah.
So you do have a lot of time. And you could also waveland slightly to the left so that if he does DI far away, then you're already on your way there.
Okay. See.
But yeah, the other thing you could do is go for just forward smash here. If you wanted to read that, or you could go for another up tilt. But you really want to get one of those three, because for example, if you aerial here instead, it doesn't lead to as big a combo, right? Yeah. Like even if they DI in on the forward smash, they're still like off stage instead of like that weird situation we got here where you forward air and then you manage to full hop and then it's like scrappy again. Same with this one. I don't know if you've done this at all, but I would practice converting off of up tilt at different percents.
No. So like, yeah, just different position, different percents. Like,
yeah.
Is that like an Uncle Punch thing of like the different DIs as well?
Yeah. So I would just put it on random DI and Uncle Punch and do it at like 15 and then 30 and then 45 and then 60. You get what I mean, and then just figure out like what different sequences you can go for that like lead to big punches. I'd say probably me or Ginger have the most like flowchart stuff off of situations like that. Mango has like some crazy stuff he does off it, and like if you want to go that route, then you can. But yeah, I think it's something to practice, because a lot of people get into tunnel vision on like only practicing, off of dash shine, and it's like that's only a portion of what you're opening them up with,
Yeah.
Like you want to be able to feel confident in all of your main openings, so like aerialing them, up tilting them, grabbing and then throwing them, like back airing them and then tech chasing them. They're probably the main ones, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to know how to convert off of those at every percent into like good positions where you know how to follow up off of. Because otherwise, you just create situations like this where even if you get a hit, it doesn't really lead to much,
Yeah.
Same
like
with
the. It's like with the up tilt, because I've got so much time, so I should know exactly like what I want to do next.
Yeah.
But I think I just like tried to just react like where they were, and it just ended up being not confident, or like my option was just bad.
Yeah, a lot of the time with Falco's openings as well, like you have time to confirm it. Like Shine, again, like Shine has so much hit stun, up till has so much hit stun that you can, as long as you recognize the situation fast enough, you can just react to any DI they do and like make a good decision. Yeah. That's pretty good edge guard by him. Alright, let's see what the third one is. Hopefully this is a big stage. Or is this the one we watched? Was there 2 Yoshis at least? Oh no, this one's on Dreamland, okay. Yeah. Launch replay.
Ready? Go!
Cool.
Yeah, I feel like some of the time when you set up your lasers as well, you're not really sure like what the different option sets are from the spacing you're at. I don't know if we talked about this in the set with Brandon, really. Not Brandon,
yeah, I think
Hassan.
it was. Yeah. I think we did. I think it was like at least a very similar thing where it was uh, like just the position, there's one where I remember where I was like for instance, I think it was literally this map, like under the where Fox is basically,
Yeah.
like lasering, and then like Brandon's on like the right platform, and
Yeah.
like, he jumps off it, and like I'm lasering and like still lasering, but like I should be able to recognize like that option and then like have something for it, you know. But I just kept lasering or something. Or
Yes.
I dash forward and got hit when I didn't need to.
Yeah, so like same thing happened here, right? You see him go to the platform after this laser, and then you should be right. His biggest like threat here is he jumps off and nares you, right? So you want to be spacing around that and playing around that. You know, dashing forward should be like a pretty hard read on your behalf rather than like your go-to. I think what it might be worth doing is just really focusing on paying more attention when you're lasering. Like every time you press B, you want to like confirm where they are and what they're doing. So like, if I was to give an example here, so you lasered here as dashing towards you. You lasered he's jumping now. You lasered he's jumping off the platform. So now it'd be like, okay, I'm gonna either turn up tilt or dash back and then back out.
Wait, so is it like thinking like the last thing they did?
It's like what they're doing as you're... So, like, you press B here and you can see Fox dashing towards you, right?
Okay, yeah.
And then if I go forward again, you jump, press B, you're stuck in laser for how many frames, so you need to see what they're doing, and you see Fox in the air.
Okay.
So then you know this is either, like, short hop or a full hop. So then you laser again, which is fine here. And then when you press B, he's, like, dashing forward and he's in his jump animation, right? So this is pretty... like big cue that you need to not be lasering here anymore because his nair's going to hit you. So then you need to
the lasers. I run away.
Yeah. And even if you didn't exactly see that he jumped, you could still see that he's on the platform and then decide to do like dash back turnaround laser, and then you're covering the ground while also playing around the nair. So sometimes you can like see exactly what they did during your laser and have like a specific answer for it, but sometimes it's just like a general what you think they're going to do, and then you can like, you know.
So would you say it's like worth it as like an exercise, like when I'm like playing, just to literally like make a mental note every single time, like, or like most of the time I press B in like a neutral situation, like same thing.
That should be like the end goal, is that like you're doing this during every single laser you shoot, and like every time you have a chance to react. But yeah, I would just play some games and like make sure you're fully seeing what was happening during your laser. It doesn't matter if you get hit or if you hit them or whatever happens after, but just make sure that you are aware of what was happening as you were lasering. Because then once you can do that every time, that's when you can build on like, right, as soon as I laser here and I see him jump, then I know to up tilt, and then I get a big combo, and you know, it all compounds together.
Were you saying that like I'll continue to do that, or are you saying it's like a thing like once I do it enough, like it'll become like I know what he's going to do, like based on what I just saw?
Yeah, it just becomes second nature. Like I don't have to think about this in this situation.
Cool.
Like to me, this, as soon as I saw this, I was like, I need to move back and back air or up tilt.
Yeah.
So like, this one was pretty good actually. I don't know if you did it here, whether intentionally or not, but you lasered, and then he was in the air, and then you decided to CC shine, which was really good here. But yeah, again, like how you position with the laser also makes that either easier or harder. If you're further away, then it's like easier to react, right?
Yeah.
That's another
I guess it still kind of applies, like, because if I'm in a closer situation, it's like, okay, now I need to do like a closer situation option, you know?
Yeah.
Like an unreactable option.
Yeah, so this was a very scary laser. Just going back to what we were saying, so you whiffed grab, right? And he's this close to you.
I do laser.
So from what we said before, this is the point where, like, if you're both actionable, then this laser's fine to do. Or the full retreating one was fine to do. Because you're not, this is where you should be like, I need to... You usually either try to reposition here so that you can get a laser out, or you want to try and fight in some way. And that can be either like holding your ground with like aerials and up tilts and stuff, or it can be going over to try and hit him. Or repositioning could be something like wave dashing or jumping, you know. But yeah, that's the goal, is you either reposition to set up a better situation than this, or you just try and play it out and like read how he's going to come in or if he's just going to stay here or
Is like kind of preempting a roll bad here, or like good here, or is it like kind of bad because like maybe I'm being too passive and like opening myself up to if the fox reacts or whatever.
What do you mean by preempting a roll?
Like, so if I see this like the situation coming, like, I can just get ready and buffer a roll as soon as I'm actionable, like maybe towards him or.
Yeah, that can sometimes be good. I would say that's more an option I'd do if you were cornered, because you've got like less options, right? So you need to make bigger risks. Whereas here, he can't like true hit you here. He has to read you in some way. So that can be like he reads you put up your shield, so he grabs, or he reads you're gonna try and laser, so then he tries and hit you like here. So it's not a bad enough situation that I would be rolling most of the time. If that makes sense. But yeah, if you're in the corner and you get red here, you die, then rolling might be good. Yeah, so like this one, I think would be fine if you roll, for example. So what did you do? You lasered. Yeah, you were like whiffing forward air the wrong way. Like this is one where I'd maybe roll, because he nearly hits you.
Yeah, if he hit me, I was probably dead there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think this one was good. Here. You do laser, and then you do dash dance, or I was here, so you did laser dash dance. So I think there you shot one laser too many, and you weren't really paying attention. So if we pause it on the laser again,
I could have done the same thing, but just without the
second one. Yeah, so as you press B, he was like here. Whether you could have seen the drop through or not, I'm not sure. But even so, like. Yeah, if I'm seeing this, I'm thinking I want to get out of the way because I don't want him to run off area on me, right?
Yeah.
But then what you did after was really good. You played that close range really well. Nice.
This might sound weird, but is this like situations like that kind of like a weird like a like a hit confirm in Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Like you see like how you're saying I might not be able to see him if he comes through the top platform, like if he was falling through or not. Like if I dash back and then like I see he is falling through, like now the I can confirm with the other dash there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Usually with Falco though you need to be like already moving towards them to confirm it, just because Falco's pretty slow. So what you might do is like you laser dash back, dash in, jump, and then you see him with his up tilt, for example. And if you don't see him with, then you might do like double jump or waveline back or something. Like you'll see Mango do that a lot. I think the forward air was. Think about it again. If I was going to go for a weak hit here, I would have probably gone for weak back air instead, because then I can get like weak back air up tilt, right? Whereas I feel like the forward air sent him like. You couldn't really convert off of this very well. Like, even if you get the shine, right? Again, going back to what we were saying, you don't get anything off of it. You could have maybe forward air down smashed. But, so I'd maybe look for weak bear up tilt there instead. This is just...
Is that kind of like a situation I basically just recognize by, like, if they're going to be, like, next to the edge and I shine them, it's like, I don't really get anything.
Yeah, basically, you don't want to shine when they're in the corner. Yeah, you want to get up tilt more.
Like, not do fair, but like do something that gets up tilt, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you want to do something that gets up tilt or something that sets up into downer.
Yeah. Or
a smash tag, rather than shine. Shine can work there if you had space to run, but since you didn't, I think that was fine. One thing you can do if he's doing a lot of these like full hops in spots like this is a very common full hop to do. Yeah. Easy way again to deal with it is just a dash dance here, or mainly dash dance here, and then you see him fall down, and then you can either try and catch his landing, or you can wait for a double jump, and then he's really screwed, right? The other thing you can do is you can just hard read this with like full hop downer, but that's kind of like a lot riskier, but it would get a kill, right? So sometimes
I remember I used to sometimes do that.
Unfortunate flub. Nice. I do feel like I'm seeing more like execution flips than I see from like other people around your level, so I think it is something you might want to pay a bit more attention to. Like I think we've watched 3 games, and I think you've died because of flubs about 7 or 8 times.
Mm-hmm.
And that, it is hard because like people will say, just go away and practice tech skill or whatever. But you want to look at all of these fuck ups and like think about
How I
what's
messed it up.
yeah, how did he mess it up? What was the situation that happened? Was it I missed a waveland and then I got hit? Was it I tried to do some shield pressure and then I messed it up and then got reversaled?
Mm-hmm.
Was it I hit a shine and then flubbed the follow up after and then got reversals? You want to think about like what were the specifics again. It isn't just like I should be like moving around in 20xx more.
Yeah,
like most people would say.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, I know like I bet I basically just had the same thing where it's like even if I am like recognizing that I'm messing up, like my brain just resorts to like resolving it by like just
randomly playing more.
randomly.
Yeah, like I would literally
Interestingly.
prefer you to do like 5 minutes in 20xx practicing specifically like shine wavelands rather than you fucking around for an hour beating up a CPU and then playing event mode or whatever people end up doing in Uncle Punch. It's just more productive, and you want your time to be spent productively on stuff. And the other benefit as well is like when you have something specific like that, it's way easier to see progress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if it's like, I'm putting in all these hours and then I'm not seeing any progress, it's like, well, you're not focusing on anything specific, you're just like being too general again. So that would be one of the main things I'd think about taking from this as well. Because I think we said about punish game in the other one as well was quite a big thing. But I think it's pretty clear to see that a lot of the time when you hit people, it like doesn't lead to anything. And like I said, it's a combination of like not choosing the right moves and like flubbing a lot of stuff. Like I think you've hit him about 4 or 5 times this stock. Like opened him up. And then if you watch, like one of the top players do that, they probably kill him after like 2 hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might, I mean, you said about feeling quite panicky when you play as well. So like you said before when you're playing against Brand, maybe just try slowing it down. And a lot of the time it's better to just focus on like a set few interactions and situations that are coming up rather than everything at once. Because it just becomes too much for your brain to handle if you're not already familiar.
Now that I think about it, like I definitely need to try and achieve that type of like a thinking in game more often. But now that I think about it, it probably did a big part of it probably was because I was playing Brandon, so like there were situations that I probably like grappled with a lot more than like just playing a random Fox on ranked. But the same thing sort of applies.
Yeah, like when you're playing someone better than you, it is like harder to focus a lot of the time and execute. But yeah, it might be beneficial for you to just like concentrate on 1 or 2 things at a time and then build up from there. Like that's how I got to the point where I am versus Prof. Like I looked a lot like this when I used to play him, like 2 years ago maybe. And I just sort of built it up one situation at a time, and then it just gets to the point where like the same things come up over and over again, and you end up like comfortable in all of them,
Yeah.
And again, like I was saying with the tech skill practice, like if you're focusing on 1 or 2 things, it's much easier to see progress. And you said that it felt like sometimes you're making progress, sometimes you're not at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would help with that as well.
Yeah. I think like part of that feeling was like so for instance, like I was saying how I was playing with Brandon like after the session. Like I might see like I think there was one time where like I was playing and then like I felt like it was the exact same, even though like I was trying to think about the situations that we talked about. And then I think another time like after that, like I was getting them a lot more and like okay, like, it seems like it's coming together a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then I think it would be like after that, it's like maybe playing someone random on unranked, and it's like I'm not like it's completely different. And like I'm losing all the situations, and it just feels a lot worse than it actually is. If you know what I mean, like because
yeah, I get what you mean. And it sounded like you didn't have anything you were looking for specifically when you're playing with these random people as well, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so like the two modes I'm in with that is like if I don't have anything to practice, then I'm going to use these games to figure out stuff to practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if once I have that, or if I have that from watching videos, then that's what I should be practicing. So I should always have something I can take or get from the games, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Would you have any advice on like how to spot that in like a thing? Like, so if I'm just playing like a random person and I'm ranked, and like maybe I'm losing by however much, like I guess it would just be like the big stock swings that I need to like figure out. But yeah,
pretty much. You just look for like try and think about what situations keep coming up again and again, or think about which situations do I feel the most uncomfortable in, because that's usually a good indicator of like something you don't know much about. Also, what are the situations where you're like, damn, I shouldn't have done that, I should have done this instead? Because that's an indicator of like you need to push that situation a little bit more until it becomes like the situation before it happens rather than after it happens,
What do you mean exactly?
So like say a good example would be with the lasers we were talking about, right? Like say every time you shoot that laser and you get hit for it, you're like, damn, I should have not lasered there.
Yeah, I think it's just click like, I'll just, like, because that definitely happens, like, I'll just be like, yeah, these are bad lasers, but then, like, I don't recognize, like, oh, there was a situation before that, like, was a key indicator.
Yeah, so that would be one where I'd be like, right, I'm going to go away and think more about, how much space and time I need to laser, or I'd use these games to really think about my lasers and whether I have time to do them or not, instead of just like shooting them and then regretting and thinking about what happened after. That would be like 3 ways to get stuff from unranked games and figure out stuff you can practice, I think. But yeah, okay, I was going to sort of wrap up because I think we've gone a bit over now.
Sorry.
No problem. Was there anything else you wanted to ask, or?
Not really. I think this is good things, like especially with the notes for this. Like, I think that's me a lot to think about.
But yeah, I'd just say in general, like continue to focus on your execution. Have a look through your games. You can even just like what I would do is set a load of games to play on Slippy and just watch through them and just note down what the like 3 or 4 most common like mess ups are that you do. And then just get to work fixing those in solo practice. And then also try to either have stuff to work on in each matchup from like what we've spoken about or from analysis, or do the steps we just talked about to figure out stuff to work on. And then from time to time I would try and reflect on like how that's going, whether you need to find something new or whether you need to continue to work on those things more. And I think that will sort of solve your feeling of like, sometimes you're improving well, sometimes you're not. It should be more like a straight, a flatter line, but also a, more consistent one.
Yeah. Also, like, I think I need to view those. I mean, I still need to read that,
the book.
The poker. Yeah, because I think situations like that, like, I need to actually, like, think about it in a completely different way where it's like, I shouldn't be so frustrated that, oh, like, I'm losing to this, like, this person on unranked and, like, it doesn't feel like I'm improving because of it. Whereas, like, it's like, oh, I've actually got, like, 4 new things I can improve.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of the stuff I'm telling you is just from the book. And that I've, like, combined with my own, like, melee experiences or whatever. But, so that would probably be the other thing to try and do. But yeah, if that's it, then
yeah, thank you very much.
Alright, no problem. I'll see you in a bit then, dude.
Alright, see you, bro.